Hello artists, how are you doing? We're going to be starting a new project in September, and the project is a ABCs. I am going to do an animal a day is my plan. So I want to prep my book. This is going to be a little bit easier project in that we're not going to do a lot of building with this. You know, sometimes I might end up building, but on this particular case, I'm going to try to just kind of keep this a little bit easier project. Okay, so what I have here, and I do this now for all of my altered books. I know that I want to have 26 pages, right? Let's see, is that in there? Yeah, 26 pages. So if I take the front cover as 1 and the back cover as 2, that means I need 12 pages so that I can do 1 on each side, right? So I somehow need to glue a couple pages down here for this. And see, that's a good spot for it there, and 2 pages is a great spot for it here. Now maybe we'll go 3 pages in. So we're going to give this book a new life. I found it in the giveaway bin, I believe, and we're going to give it a new life as a piece of art. Okay, so this book has signatures, and as you guys know, I like to use signatures. Signatures are those individual sets of paper, for those that don't know. And what we do basically is we're going to be removing a lot of pages. We're going to have our pages be 4 thick, preferably, but we'll see what happens here with this once it all gets configured. Okay, we find the center by doing this, and when that center piece no longer pulls any other pages in front, that's how you know you have the center. So you see how that's right there. This is the end of one signature and the beginning of another. We want to make sure that that's where we glue those pages together. So this is to optimally strengthen your book. All right, so we're going to take that 4 there. We're just kind of working through this here to see what we end up with. And we're going to go to this next signature. This book is really easy to figure out the signatures, which is so nice. 1. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to put a clip on to that. I'm sorry I'm pulling you around. I'm not positive on how many pages I'll be taking out of each center. So again, I found the pages that were glued together from signature to signature, and then we pull this one and this one. Now I'm going to go grab some more clips, and I will, well, what do we got here? This really doesn't take as long as it seems, and it's not as hard as it may seem. But I think it really makes a huge difference for the structural integrity of the book. As you guys know, I really do some huge builds within my books, and I need for them to absolutely 100% stay together. And a lot of times I'll put fabric in the inseams. I don't know if I'll need to do that on this one, but we'll see with the book itself being as old as it is, and it has been well loved, and so it might need a little extra TLC. And as an artist, it's much easier to fix it before you do the art than it is to fix it after you've done the art. So it does make a big difference to, you know, really think about the structure of your book. All right, let me go find some more clips, and I'm going to clip just these last couple pages together, and then we'll go from there. Again, I'm just doing the signature to signature pages first because I know absolutely that that's where I need to have one of my pages be for my book. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, so this might be a little bit tricky because, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 6 signatures and 5 junctions. I've also clipped back 3 pages here because that actually worked out really well with this clip. You see how you can, that is one continuous page that's been glued together. So we have our 5 here, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6, not 7. We're gonna have to find one more extra signature in here. And we should probably find it out of the center of the book, would be my guess. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to pull out 3 pages. Now, this has strings in the center of it. Do not break those strings. Oh, like it just did break. The reason why we don't break those strings is those are the strings that are holding the papers into the book. And if it does break a string, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. We are just going to have to be a little bit more careful of it. 2, 3. Okay, so then what we have left is 6 pages here to glue together. Which is too many. You don't need to have it 6 thick. So we're going to take out a 4th one. Now each signature again is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be our weakest link here, but we have 4 pages now to glue together. So what I'm going to have to do here is reinforce these seams somehow. And I like to use fabric when I reinforce my seams. It seems to work the best. All right, so I'm going to go back to the front of the book here and find the center. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing the same thing on each side, as long as each signature has the same amount of pages, which we're going to hope that it does. Let's see, where's our center? There's our center. There's our center. Let's see, there's the strings. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and we're going to double check here and see if there's 2 pages here, and so we take out the 4th one. And you can cut those pages in half. They do not have to come out together. And we do not want to break those strings, so it's easier if you cut them in half. It is best if this is cleaned out as much as possible. Okay, so there we have that one. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Okay, so yeah, so you'll definitely want to reinforce that page down to there. So what that means is that I'm going to go through and reinforce all pages. Okay, those are done. UV. Okay. Oh, I think this is going to work. Oh, you don't want to mess it up, right? So E. So this is going to be F. G, H, I, J, K, whoops, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, this needs to be U. So we need to have 2 in this one. 2, 3, 4. S, T. All right, we're going to go from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we pull out okay, we're gonna have to attach one extra one here together. Now sometimes that can happen if there's a picture page in there. All right, let's see if we're close here. I'm going to double do my counting real quick. A, B, C, D, E, F, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so hopefully I got everything there that I needed. So what I can do now is go back through to here. I know this seems technical. It's not. It really just takes some planning. So we can take out every page but 2. So this will be, again, removing 3 pages out of this signature. So these signatures have different numbers of pages in them. And that's cool. That's groovy. You just have to be aware of that. And, you know, if you have your pages 4 wide, it's not an issue. And again, I know with this book, I'm not going to do any building on it. But even if I did want to go back and build something, I can keep this old paper that I'm pulling out, and it would be good to go. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I'm double checking myself before I pull all these pages out. Okay. And where are we at here? Okay, so all but the last 2 pages of the signature are going. And then in this signature, how many pages is that? Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a large signature compared to the last one, right? Uh-oh. There we go. And those pages will get glued together. Again, we have weakness here because it's, you know, the last 2 pages, the middle 2 pages in the signature. And we will go back and reinforce these seams. We don't need something super heavy duty with this one, thankfully. 2, 3, 4. All right, this one has one extra page in it because it has a picture page. It has this large picture. So when you have a picture page, they sometimes put an extra page in with a different signature. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so we should have everything right here. Pull off this guy because it has a hook on it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? All right. So we've got this worked out. And now what we need to do is start gluing. And start gluing pages together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start in the center because I want to show you how to reinforce these pages here also. So let me go grab some sort of cloth here or tape. Do not use gaffer's tape. That is the worst tape in the universe. Do not use it for doing your books. But we're going to go figure out something to use. Do not use washi tape. Washi tape does not stick. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, so I found this fun fabric, which would be great for a children's themed book. I need 13 strips. Now, one thing about putting 13 strips of fabric in this is it's definitely going to push this, but you see we have quite a bit of room in here from me removing all of those pages, so I'm hoping that it doesn't really affect it too much. I like a little bit of a torn edge. I don't love a ton of let's see, how big do I want to make it? I don't think I need it that big. Maybe make the black down the center. Well, let's just kind of plan on 3 wide there. All right, I'm just going to tear 13 strips of this fabric. And hopefully I have enough fabric for it. I should. But we're going to measure that out here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't. All right, so we're going to go down to 2. See, that'll be more than enough to protect the page. We don't need more than that. That'll be just right. I generally like to have a little bit more, but this will be better for the book itself. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some more strips here, and we'll be right back with the next step. All right. So with most altered books, we don't really know how many pages that we're going to have in our books. But it's always good to look at the signatures and try to plan it out to where you're making these pages one signature to the next signature, 4 pages. Try to make sure that you kind of go off of that basis. Most books have a lot more signatures, but I feel and I've had a lot more success doing it this way. The first book I had, it kept falling apart on me, you know, and that's just because I, at that time, had no clue as to how to reinforce a book while it was in process. So, or, you know, before I started, I think 4 pages works great for a strong, sturdy page. I think, you know, with this, I knew exactly how many pages I wanted to have. So that makes things really convenient or inconvenient. It's, you know, sometimes you have to think about it. But look at the number of signatures and try to do, you know, really 1 page per signature for the average book, especially if it's an altered book where you're doing a lot of building. That'll generally be enough. But you can always review some of my other videos on how I set up my books. Don't look at the first one though, because I didn't know what I was doing at that time. And I kind of only discovered the signature to signature system after that. Okay, this is going to be a little difficult with these clips on here. By golly. So this is just standard Mod Podge. If you put too thick of a coat of Mod Podge on here, it can warp on you. It won't necessarily dry correctly. And it'll be kind of a pain in the patootie. So, you know, you need enough that the page is saturated, but not so much that, well, this book page might not really like being wet at all. Okay, artists, so when we start to glue, it's definitely best to start from one end or the other. This came from San Pablo. Wow. This will probably be better to have taken off just so that we don't have too much extra unevenness in here. And of course we know the page won't close all the way on the end of the book. All right, and so to get this page to line up properly, take it from here and kind of close it on each other. And then you can pop it open. And you push down. Okay, so I glued all of those pages down to the front cover. And, you know, this paper that I have here is going to wrinkle some. And that's just, you know, the nature of the book, nature of the paper. And that's okay. Just have to let the, you know, if you don't like it, you need to choose a different book. But it should be just fine for what we're doing. So next what I'm doing here is I'm putting a generous amount of glue into this center. I'm taking one of our strips. I'm laying it down. I wonder if I want to just put the extra on top. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of get that center line centered. Not that that makes any difference, but you know, I like things to be somewhat symmetrical. I just think it looks better when you know, have, unless you're going to make it super wonky, try to make it straight. That's kind of my rule of thumb. Sometimes with fabric, you need to give it a little cut here in the center. I prefer to do that because it lets things lay down all the way. And then you take your paintbrush and you really smush that. Put a layer of Mod Podge over the top. Might be best to wait to do that until you have all the pages glued together. I guess this way, because this page is now kind of buckling since it doesn't have a big support system. But we should be okay. It's stretching the paper is what's happening. So we're going to pounce that down into the gutter. Make sure it's down in there nice and tight. And we basically are going to let that dry. So it might be better for you to go through and glue all the pages together and then do the fabric strips in the center. It would, you know, but you still have to take the time to let this dry before you flip over this page. You can sometimes put like a piece of wax paper in between here, or, you know, like this Ziploc would work here. Sometimes a deli sheet will work. Basically, you don't want the fabric to glue to the fabric. You want the fabric to make a nice, tight, and beautiful channel in here. So, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll go through and do all the pages here. This, one of these pages here I did. Yeah, I did this page, but I didn't think about, you know, having all these other clips on here, which I actually could probably remove the clips now, since I have all the lettering where I know I want them. The clips are mainly important for, you know, figuring it out and figuring out how you want to put it together. So I'm gonna actually take those guys out. I know that I look for the V to the W. Again, not all of your books are going to be pre-planned, but again, 2 pages per signature or 1 page per signature works out really well. Now what I can also do here, you know, is I could, you know, do this back page. Just go ahead and do this back page. Oh, what's that? Is that an anti-theft thing? I have a feeling it is. It is. It's a, I'm gonna go off if you walk through the door with me. It's a buzzer. So. That page goes down, this page kind of comes up. There we go. My Mod Podge was left open, so it's got some good gooiness to it. You don't want that gooiness in your pages. I need to go in there and fish it out of there. Which, you know, we get Mod Podge all over the place. That's just part of being part of the Messy Hand band is you just get messy. Mm-hmm.